What do you make of Russell Wilson's agent saying that there's 4 teams? Hey, we want to stay, but just in case there are 4 teams that he would waive his no trade to. So what is the game plan here with Russell Wilson?
When I heard him on this show, I was shocked, Dan, because you know as well as I do, Russell is bland, corporate, unrevealing, go Hawks. That was a massive change when I heard him on this program. Massive. So something's up. And basically what I'm gathering is some of it's Brady envy. Look what he got, but he took 20 years for Tom to get that. And some of it is just frustration that he doesn't have more of a role. This one's different, Dan, because I'm not sitting here steadfast like I was with Wentz and am with Watson, because we haven't heard from the Seahawks. We haven't heard from the Seahawks, and there's a lot of leakage going on. Mm-hmm. They weren't happy with some of the things he did. He's not happy with some of the things. They're not coming out and saying, no way, no how, no way in God's green earth we're trading Russell Wilson. So what I think his agent put out there was, hey, we see your leaks.
And we raise your leaks.
We raise your leaks. We're not asking for a trade. That was the message. Okay, don't blame us. But if he's traded, this is where he wants to go. So my message from that was, hey, don't take calls from the Jets. Don't take calls from the Panthers, because it's not happening. But if you get calls from the Bears and Raiders and Saints, okay. So I don't, I'm not as steadfast. I don't think he'll be traded because I don't think the package will match the value. But clearly there's a rift between it, whether it's Pete Carroll or John Schneider or both, and Russell's camp about where this is going.
But I've always thought that they don't know their offensive identity. It feels like their identity changes. Now, Bill Belichick famously can change his identity from one quarter to the next or 1 week to the next. But it's Bill Belichick who's doing this. I always tune into a Seahawks game, and it's like a crooked score going into the fourth quarter. It's like, 13-9, and they're losing. And then it feels like Pete Carroll goes, running game didn't work. Hey, Russ, go out there and win the game for us. They let him cook in the first half of the season, but then the second half of the season all fell apart. I just don't know as they move forward. Is this just about offensive line protection? Because I'm not sure what Russ wants in this say-so in the organization. So how do you placate him? Because Pete Carroll's 70, Andrew. He's not there for a rebuild.
Yeah, I know. Listen, I'm same with you. When I watch the Seahawks, it looks like, okay, Russ, bail us out. And now they had Darryl Bevell back in the day, the Super Bowl. They had Brian Schottenheimer this year. And I thought maybe there was some friction there, but Brian Schottenheimer's gone. So they have a new offensive coordinator that supposedly Russ, seems to get along with. So we'll see what happens. But, yeah, I don't see it either. But, listen, I worked 7 years with John Schneider. John is an aggressive GM, from Percy Harvin to Jamal Adams. He's an aggressive GM, but usually he's the aggressor on the intake, right? The Percy Harvins, the Jamal Adams. He's not the aggressor on the outtake. So to take a bunch of picks or whatever it is for Russell Wilson. So that's why it just doesn't sit well. But I think the Seahawks are frustrated with Russell and vice versa. Whether that results in a trade, I think that's a big leap.
But if you're the Seahawks, do you call the Cowboys? Do you call the Saints? Do you call the Bears? Do you call the Raiders?
Yeah, I guess you do, just to see if, like I talk about, if there's something stupid out there. I don't know what they think of Dak Prescott. I mean, people, sort of put these things together, whether he would fit with them and whether – I don't think the Cowboys want to move on from Prescott. I think that's going to be another tag, frankly.
You don't think Jerry Jones – you know how Jerry is. He loves shiny new objects. And is this leverage with Dak Prescott to go, you know what, let's look at Russell Wilson? I don't know.
A quick minute on Dak. I think he's in great shape despite the injury. He's got 3 choices: franchise tag, $38 million, do a deal that he likes, or be set free in the market, which the Cowboys won't happen, which would make even more than anyone. So Dak's in a great spot right now. financially.
We have an I-Team investigation.
We go to the newsroom.
Hold on, Andrew.
I-Team investigation.
The motto of our news team is
Fast and wrong is still fast.
let's go to the newsroom. Paulie?
Dan, Andrew Brandt, lawyer, air quotes, said that by the use of the word "and" with Carson Wentz and Deshaun Watson, he is on hold with the cheese flume bet.
Okay.
We have further audio to illuminate details of the situation. Here we have it.
Okay. I'll do the cheese if either one of these guys is not traded.
Okay, if one of them's traded,
Then you're going to be a true cheesehead.
and you are as well.
Yes, I will. Yes, I will. Oh, my God. Andrew.
There's new evidence out there.
Yeah, you said if either one gets oh my God, this is a bombshell.
So wait a minute, there was an "and" earlier in the conversation.
Yes, but then you went further because I, of course, being Johnny Cochran, put you on the spot, and I started to twist the screws a little bit here.
Okay, but Judge Ito, we need a ruling here because we have conflicting evidence.
McLovin, would you be the judge as a former paralegal?
I think that's not a partial.
Does Andrew owe us a cheese shower of shame? Yes, Seton.
Well, I was going to say, isn't there some kind of rule about new evidence has to be submitted to both sides before entered into some type of...
You've been watching too many damn shows.
Yeah, Law and Order. They're like, it's depraved indifference. You can't just put this in here.
Yes, McLovin.
I mean, if the "and" doesn't fit, you must acquit.
There will be lawyers. Listen, I think next time, Dan, we'll bring on an impartial third, not one of your guys, an impartial third legal eagle to rule on my situation. But let's see what happens with Watson too.
If Watson's traded, then we don't need a legal expert to come on.
Correct.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm a little bit stunned by the new evidence. I need time to consult with my client.
Yeah, you're like Jack Nicholson and Tom Cruise. A code red. Did you order the code red? Yes, McLeod.
Are you going to offer him a plea deal of some sort?
Do you want a plea deal?
Dan, you can't handle the truth.
I can handle the truth. Do you want a plea deal?
Well, we can negotiate something. We can figure something out if there's a plea. If we can double down on Watson, and you give me a pass on this deal, and then we double down if it happens.
I'd have to see you in the judge's chambers to talk about this. Okay.
Let's get Mariska Haggerty from.
Why don't we just get Judge Judy? Can you imagine we get Judge Judy on and she hears the. You know what? I'm going to see if Judge Judy will join us one day. How's that?
That would be great.
Would you trust Judge Judy?
Yes, I would trust her ruling. I would submit to her ruling on this issue.
Fritzy, see if Judge Judy will join us.
On the case.
And if not, we'll find another judge. But, somebody that Andrew will approve of, okay? Andrew, I hope I didn't ruin your weekend, but...
all good.
Okay. Great to talk to you again. Thank you, bud.
Okay, we'll check in soon. Thanks,
All
Dan.
right. That's Andrew Brandt, the Monday morning quarterback columnist, Business's Sports Podcast, former ESPN legal and business analyst. All right, we'll take a break. If you're watching on Peacock, Feast de Resistance is what I call it. The Traeger girls are all fired up, and we'll show you what's in store for lunch coming up. Thanks for listening to the Dan Patrick Show podcast. Be sure to catch us live every weekday morning, 9 until noon Eastern, 6 to 9 Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. And you can find us on the iHeartRadio app at FSR or stream us live on the Peacock app.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Is that Shakespeare?
Nope, it's Geico.
Yeah, that's Shakespeare from one of his unpublished works. Oh, it be not for awakening. Nay, giveth thou the berries. For 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
No, it's from Geico, because they help save people money.
Well, I hate to break it to you, but Geico got it from Shakespeare.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
To show you how easy it is to file a claim with Geico, we hired a soap opera star.
Gracious me, my car has storm damage and I've had to file a claim. Could it possibly get worse? Will my claims team leave me for someone else? Someone less intense?
No. Actually, when you file a claim with Geico, you get your own dedicated claims team who promises to stay with you throughout the process.
Oh, I've never known such loyalty. I can't wait for the second season.
Geico. Great service without all the drama.
Another great week turned in by the guys, not only those on camera, behind the microphones, but behind the scenes, including Alan Guzzi. After 14 years, his final show. We dedicate this to all of his great work. Once again, if you're curious about the recipe for Meat Friday, that'll be on the newsletter, danpatrick.com. Sign up. And also a recap of the show every single day. But we say goodbye to Alan, who's done a wonderful job. 14 years as our IT guy and also chef and a family friend to all of us here. Got an opportunity that he couldn't pass up, and we wish him well. Final results of the poll question, McLovin.
Where's Russell Wilson going to be next year? Seattle, then the Saints, and then actually the Raiders third.
All right. This day in sports history, Paulie.
Dan, this is a good one. Now, you got to go back 9 years ago. The very famous bowler, Pete Weber. You know, he's very demonstrative.
Yeah.
Everyone knows Pete Weber.
Yeah.
He was in a match against a guy, and he needed a strike on his last ball or he lost. It was win or lose with a strike. And afterwards, he uttered the words, "Who do you think you are?" And then he yelled, "I am," with his wife crying in the background. Here is the audio.
Strike to claim it. A strike to claim it. And he got it!
That is right! I did it! That's number 5! Are you kidding me? That's right! Who do you think you are? I am! Get it right!
It's like he's speaking in tongues, almost.
Who do you think you are? I am.
You know what's underappreciated about the clip, too? Because who do you think you are? I am is great. But him going, "That's right, I did it!" is hilarious. Because, like, the person that he just beat is sitting right next to him. "That's right, I did it!"
He's wearing khaki pants.
Bowling trash talk. You got to love it.
I know, but I like it.
Who do you think you are? I am. God, the levels of brilliance to this is just...
That's great. That's great. By the way, the 12:15 Club podcast with the boys is back, and it's available shortly after the show. So Mario, the big German, Dylan the graphics guy, Marv, they recap the week behind the scenes, and they're going to be joined by Alan, the IT guy. Alan will join them on the show. So that's the 12:15 podcast coming up with the guys in back. Let me see. So we got final results poll question. We got all of that. Let me get to George in Ohio. Hi, George. What's on your mind? Hey, George.
I don't know how to follow that, the Pete Weber. I sometimes don't even know who I am. You know, I'm old, and I still say, what am I doing? Who am I? But quick comment on the top 60. I like Baker Mayfield, but number one, no, I wouldn't do that. He's not even the top in the pros, let alone in college. But I hope there's some Ohio State quarterbacks on that list. Have a good weekend, fellas.
All right. Thank you, George. Are there...
Fields is on there. I've got to see if Haskins is on there. Fields is like 30.
I had a conversation yesterday about Justin Fields. Justin Fields. And it had to do with this, how good is he? And my source said, I think people are overthinking Justin Fields. He has talent, mobility. He's tough. We saw that in the Clemson game. And my source said, Dwayne Haskins might be hurting Justin Fields because Ohio State has a lot of talent. They're the class of the Big Ten. Sometimes they make it look too easy. But the Clemson game and how tough Justin Fields was, that's really important to my source, who's a scout. He just said, I think some of these guys are overthinking Justin Fields, and that's why he's dropping. Because it feels like you got Zach Wilson, even Trey Lance Mac Jones. It feels like they're moving up and Justin Fields moving down. Yeah, Paul.
If you go back to the coverage of the 05 draft and Aaron Rodgers falls, a lot of the talk was Kyle Bowler 2 years earlier. The Ravens took him and he's not working out. And it was almost like it was a cloud over Aaron Rodgers. It had nothing to do with him.
Yeah, because they played at Cal with Jeff Tedford. Yeah, McLovin.
By the way, Troy Smith of Ohio State was 31 on the list, one of our favorites.